You know what I mean?
Well,
So
what's premium? That's the weirdest. This is it when we don't even notice the biggest problem in the world is that we associate things based on the fabric and what quality is, and that all goes on a price range basis. It's the same. That is the dumbest thing to me is that to wear something nice, to have something that's like comfortable to even use, that you're not going to wear one time and after it washes, it's completely screwed. Going for merch, for instance, it's got to be like I got to shell out $45 to be able to afford that. It doesn't make any sense. It's like that's everything in life. To make anything to be comfortable in life, you have to pay way more of a price.
dude, modern day consumerism, man. You know, that's the thing. Is like it's all like shill products, man. You have your low end products that are like you said, they fucking fall apart right away. They're complete trash. They're uncomfortable, whatever. And that's like your low end, like what the average person can afford. And then like if you want to be able to use it more than once, or even use it maybe all at once, you gotta shell out the extra money. I was at the post office the other day, man. We see all this stuff going on with the shipping right now, and this is driving me crazy, man.
Did you not
Like
get your card?
I have not gotten my card yet. Today I'm expecting a lot of mail in today. I'm hoping that the mail arrives finally. But here's the thing about it, man. Like I've been watching the tracking on some of these packages, and I've been talking to people about this, man. You know, I always keep my ear to the grind on stuff, on stuff like this. And people are like, "Yeah, man, my packages aren't showing up in tracking. The tracking isn't working." And I had a company who sent me an interesting list of tracking details for a package that I have. And it seems that this package that I ordered that was supposed to be here December 14th has somehow made its way back and forth between Bell, California and LA like 12 times in the first 6 days. It just like transported back and forth from these two facilities. Then it finally made its way to Phoenix on the 22nd and then was shipped back to California. Phoenix is 2 hours away from me. That's my local distribution hub. And so now it's back in California, and the company is telling me, wait another day or two, wait another day or two. I told them, I said, I've been waiting over 10 days for this product. This product was supposed to be here at a certain time. Now, most people's tracking, if you go and track most of these packages, will just say it's in transit. It's not telling you that the shit's being shipped back and forth to these facilities over and over and over again. Now, why is that happening, man? I'll tell you why. I was standing in line at the post office the other day, and I was trying to ship out some packages. And I was listening to what the people at the counter were telling people in front of me, and they were like, so we have standard shipping, which is, standard ground commercial shipping. It's the lowest shipping you can get. And it's usually, 7, 8 days, whatever, to travel across the United States. Okay. And whatever. So then you get, you bump it up a little bit, you pay a little more, and you get this 2 to 3 day priority shipping, right? And so that's about twice as much as normal ground shipping, but it gets there much quicker. And so sometimes that's the way to go. And that's usually the way I ship my products. But I'm listening to the lady, and she's like, yeah, we're not guaranteeing 2 to 3 day ground delivery or, a priority delivery anymore. If you want it there before Christmas, you have to pay for this. What was it called? Um, the premium service, the premium priority. And that was like 4 times the amount of like the priority shipping. So she's talking about, like you can either mail your package for $7 and it'll get there maybe in a week or so, or you can pay $15 and it should get there within 2 or 3 days, but it's not guaranteed. But if you want it there before Christmas, it's $95.
Dude, you got to get the receipt and you got to get the tracking, because I figured that out when I shipped out a couple shirts, and I kept asking you when I shipped out your shirt. I was like, "Did you get it yet? Did you get it yet?" You're like,
Right?
"No, I haven't got it. No, I haven't got it." I'm like, "Bro, they could easily just lose the package and you don't have the receipt for it to track it." And then the weirdest thing
Mm-hmm.
is when you're trying to get something back, or you're trying, like, I get hot sauces sent to me.
Right.
There are so many packages that have been sent to me that have not made it here, and now it's just gone. And I feel like some person at the UPS is just like, I'm just going to keep these. You know what I mean? But
Right.
they had tracking, and the way to get that information back, I'm like, hey man, it's been 2 months, I have not received your package. My buddy Dave is just like, oh fuck, I hate doing this. I'm like, what? He goes, I have to try and get a refund for it all back. And then that's
Mhm.
a whole long ass 30-day process where it goes in
At
this.
least minimum.
Oh my God. It doesn't make sense. And like people go, oh, why does everyone hate on the mail system? I had a problem with the mail system long before everyone else did, when everyone else was complaining on the internet about our mail system and how bad it was. First of all, I sympathize with them because especially around these times, holidays and everything, it gets very, very stressful. It's probably one of their busiest. It's like fucking doomsday there's one dude that's
Oh,
just
I'm sure.
marking it down on his calendar, like, oh my God, apocalypse now type stuff. But
Mhm.
it's when you walk in there, it's like going into a Chinese restaurant. It's not fucking fun. It's they don't want to be there. They're very, very mean, very, very bossy. They have more power when it comes to if you're at a four-way stop, there's an ambulance, a cop car, and a mail truck. You have to let the mail truck go first because technically that's for the government. That's not for your
Mhm.
state. So that's
Right.
federal. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And also, I had a buddy, like I said, hot sauce guy, Josh Williams, one of the sponsors, sent me out a package of hot sauces. Like, hey, I sent you a package. I watched a UPS truck driving. This is probably a few months after we opened back up, probably around July after after our first lockdown.
Yep.
And the back door was open and the dude was driving and packages were just hitting the street and he did not even stop. He was just going. I took a video of it and I was like, what the fuck? And I asked my buddy who works at FedEx, I said, what is going on? He goes, yeah, we got a bunch of new people and it happens. But I'm like, the sense of like, you don't understand of like, I get it. It's a hard ass job. You're basically Santa Claus, but you have 365 fucking days to do this, not one. You know,
Right.
there's a big difference with it.
Well, and here's the thing, man. It's not like these people are working minimum wage jobs. My next door neighbor is a UPS driver, and he makes like 100,000 a year, bro. Now they push him and they make him work. You know what I mean? Like a damn dog for that.
It's
But
because
you
they
know
make
what?
you wear
That's
those
a
shorts.
fucking $100,000 a year.
They're
Take some damn pride in your job. That's like
half,
5 times what most people make on average.
half of that is because you have to wear shorts when it's like 20 degrees outside.
He can wear. I've seen him. He wears like these black leggings underneath his shorts and stuff like that, like these thermal leggings and stuff like that. So they make exceptions for the guys. You know what I mean? Especially here because it's like Flagstaff and we get a lot of snow and it's very cold here. But so they take care of their drivers and stuff like that. It's not like they just. So I don't really understand the disgruntledness of it all. You know what I mean? If I was making $100,000 a year to do pretty much anything, I've made a lot less. Believe me, to do a lot worse jobs.
This is gonna be this is gonna be a funny little kind of like example, but it's kind of like religion. I think it's because they're suppressed. I think there's something going on in their corporation that's like very, very suppressive. Like, when it comes to things, like obviously you're very, very kind of like vulnerable because you're getting a package shipped and you really don't have another way to do it besides through a major carrier service. But I don't like the pay to play scheme. I don't
Right.
it really when I walk into like a mail posted office, whatever, or a UPS place, I feel like it's like Disney World where it's like there's a sense of you're being like there's a camera watching me 24/7 and like there's just this feeling of like, oh, you're like very, very like restricted on a lot of things you can do in life. And I think that's an issue and why they get so pissed off about stuff. It's like you're getting paid that amount of money. It's like working at Walmart. You can't just start shitting on Walmart. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't just start doing that or you'll get fired. You're just a number to them, but they make sure you follow their system and you don't break out of that system. And that's where we can kind of relate, me and you. Maybe you more because I think you're more of a creative than I am. When it comes to being your own business or it comes to maybe creating your own product, it's because you probably weren't very good at listening to a boss or someone that didn't give a shit about you and considered you a number. I see that's the problem with most creatives is it's hard
Mhm.
to feel like you're not able to express yourself. If somebody gives you the option to be able to do something as like, here's your job, you have to stack these boxes in this order, then you find a better way to do that, but they don't want you to do it because that's different than the way that they've been doing it for so long. And then they fire you
Mhm.
because of that. That's an issue as a company.
Absolutely. I've experienced that issue before, and I'm going to say right now that like people are always, people my whole life have been like, you have an issue with authority, and it's not that I have an issue with authority; it's that I have an issue with dumb shit. Okay, if there's a better way to do something, let's do it. If it saves time, if it saves money, if it's more safe, if it takes more time and more money, but it's more safe for the worker, let's do it that way. Stop cutting corners. I've been injured on the jobs before. I don't want to name the names of any corporations or stuff like this, but and then had to fight, you know what I mean? Fight and fight and fight because I was doing things by their procedure, which was unsafe. And even though I had brought up concerns about it, was told to shut my fucking mouth and go back and do my job. All right, cool. Then when I get hurt, then they want to, then they don't want to take care of the worker. Your procedure, your policy caused me to be injured.
Well, it's like this. Here's why I chose the example of religion, was because of the fact of like why a lot of people don't really like the idea of it. They prefer to worship it at home. It's because when you go into a system or a community or a corporation like that that's been running for so long, then you ask questions or you do something in a different way than they've been doing it for so long. It's like being stuck in your ways of like, we don't like that, so you want to exclude that person out. You want to excommunicate that person. And I'm like, that's with any of these like really slimy corporations or anything out there, which I have an issue with.
Dude, that's what the general education system, man.
It's a whole systemic thing. It all leads down into different shit. If I can literally at my job, somebody asks to get something like a protein powder off the top shelf, instead of pulling out a chair and then climbing up the chair, but having to go get the chair from the back and doing this whole 10-minute hassle of just setting up to be able to perform the task, I just hopped on the counter and grabbed the thing and then jump back down and put it back down. Like, you can't do it that way. Why? Because you have to go in the back and go get a chair and do all this bullshit. And I was like, but why? If I can just hop up there, we don't want you getting hurt. It's a liability issue. I get that, but I'm also not going to get hurt at a job that is paying me money. If I'm going to be hurt or slip and fall or something, I'm going to act like I did it outside the fucking place, like a genius. Like it's this whole idea of like, there's got to be this proceeding, this proceeding, this proceeding. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. And it's one of the most difficult things, I feel like, when you start, like, if you do have a problem with authority, like I do, for instance, I have a huge problem with people telling me what to do because sometimes I have a better thought that goes through my head. I just don't like the idea of telling that person no, or telling that person they can't express that opinion and look at a new way of solving something, because I think that just because someone else thought of it before you did is the whole idea of why they're not going to go with it. It's because they'd be like, what do you think, you're better than me? It's like, no, I don't think I'm better than you. I just see we're doing this really, really shitty and we could be doing it a hell of a lot better.
It is a systemic problem, like you said, man. And, I mentioned the education system earlier. I do some guest lecturing at a couple of the local schools here at the college level. And one of the first things that I tell students is, your teacher wants you to use a scholarly resource. Well, there's a problem with that. They don't want you to use outside resources that are not available as a scholarly resource through the school libraries or things like this. But the problem with that is that, so 500 years ago, we learned something, okay? Or we thought we learned something. And we put that in a textbook, and that's been propagated down the line for X amount of years. And anybody who has introduced new information or new evidence to that has oftentimes been shot down. That doesn't fit into the narrative. That doesn't fit into the narrative. That doesn't fit into the narrative. And we see that with like history. We're always finding out new shit about history and like, oh, well, this was wrong. We were wrong about this. Science is a big one, man. Like, we were wrong about this. We were wrong about that. We thought that this was the way planets were formed. And like, if you look at like where astronomical science is going these days, we're finding out that like we're wrong about everything that we pretty much have ever believed about space, time, all that. You know what I mean? It's like, and so the danger in using these scholarly resources is they've been touched by somebody. You know what I mean? This is a solidified idea. It's a theory that's being kind of pushed as a fact, even though it's not. And that's unfortunate. And we see oftentimes whenever new information is introduced, like if it doesn't meet quote unquote peer review, the idea is pushed out of the mainstream. And that's dangerous.
Well, don't you think that don't you think this is just a flaw of a big system that's been trying to figure out what a template should be for a country of billions of people that, or millions of people that really don't all think and act the same? And I think it gets worse and worse, like for the fact of like immigration, for instance. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We should have a bunch of different cultures in here. I'm not desensitive to that situation, but what it does is it creates a different influx of opinions that is totally
Mhm.
showing the flaws in our system that we've been trying to run by. The problem is like when this country started, when any country starts, they're trying to figure out what the fuck works by giving you an outline. Let's say me and you
Mhm.
start a business, or we're going to start, we're stranded on an island, so we're going to start our own community. Ready? But we have to find chicks or something because I'm not fucking you.
Right.
So
Thank God.
we're, we're,
I
we're
agree with that statement. Okay.
we're gonna write down rules, and then rule number one, obviously no killing. Rule number two, we need to ration our food. Rule number three, and then all these rules and templates, and eventually the island expands out so much that eventually these rules are not fixed, and we're still trying to run off the same rules. So whenever someone
Mhm.
comes in saying we could do this better, they don't let that happen. Same issue with our country is we haven't found a fucking template to run off of, and the template we're doing is like a fucking band-aid. And I'm surprised it's held up this long, and no wonder why we're collapsing right now. And here's the biggest issue I have. Oh God, I don't want to turn into like fucking my rant here, but good God, man. When everyone starts shitting on the US and then now Australia's going under fire, now UK is going under fire, now everybody's going under fire. No country is better than any other. Sadly, it isn't. You want to say America is the greatest country in the world, that's your opinion. But at the same time, we're all people trying to survive and we all have different ways of how it works. But I don't think
Mhm.
anybody has it fucking figured out. Okay. There's a lot of issues, and this is when it creates conflict. The problem is we're running off laws, amendments, and all these things that if you really take the time to look at them, or just get stoned or get drunk, it seems like that when you really start to look at those things, be like, why the fuck is this a thing? You got to raise questions to stuff, but when you raise the questions, nobody gives you a definitive answer of how we can fix it. And I think that's the issue of we're trying to find a template that works. And with all the influences that we have and how fast we progress as a society, we need to modify some shit. We need to make things better. It shouldn't take hard options or shouldn't take rougher paths to try and do things in the right manner that they deem as right. It's much easier to do the low scale stuff, which is stuff that's seen as illegal, and that is selling drugs, all these other types of things. It's why so many people are doing that, because it makes more money than doing a career job. It's why so many people are trying their hardest to be on unemployment. I had a person when I first started working at my new job, or I guess old job now, but when it was new, she worked there for a week and a half, only worked 2 days, but then she quit and then didn't answer anybody, and she was trying to collect unemployment, but she didn't know you have to work there longer than 2 weeks. And that's because the amount of money that you're getting per week is way less than what they're going to give you. So
Mhm.
it leads into this whole thing of like, how do you give people $600 in the States as a stimulus check? How do you do that and expect them to make up for a lot of the stuff going on there? Well, it's like if I gave you 5 apples and I told you, here's 4 people that you're never going to ever talk to ever again after this minute right here. And you have to give, would you want to give one of them your apples? Fuck no, because you're like, then I would have less. That's the whole idea of the mind of a politician. It's a fucking rat race of money and this soaked up bullshit. And I know it's early to be talking about this, but I'm not smart. I'm not the most intelligent guy, but there's some shit that I'm noticing that's like, what the fuck is going on here? And why are we doing this?
Well, before the election, I noticed that the national parties were at each other's throats about this whole stimulus thing. The Democrats were like, we want, X amount. We want these $1,200 stimulus checks going out to everybody. And we want this and this and this and this. And it's a 1.2 trillion, 1.3, $1.5 trillion stimulus package. And the media was blaming the Republicans for blocking these packages. And now, after the election, all of a sudden, $600 is okay. And $900 billion is the target goal that we want. What happened to the other fucking $300 billion there, man? What happened to that $1.2 trillion stimulus package? Why all of a sudden, now that you have control over fucking the House, the Senate, and the fucking White House, we're seeing a change of story? You know what I mean? Beforehand, you were blaming this all on President Trump. President Trump won't allow this and he won't allow that. Mitch McConnell won't allow this and he won't allow that. And the Republicans are fucking blocking all these, these things we're trying to do. But now that those same Republicans don't really have the say. I mean, I guess until January 20th or whatever. But, there's transitions going on here. And now, it's okay. We're seeing like, a 900 billion is fine as long as we send half of it to this American Indo-Asian coalition. What the fuck? Like,
well, we switched community with corporations, and that's an issue. And
right.
That's not in our own government. That's in everything that happens to do with being a monopoly or being a giant business. The problem is,
Sure.
if you saved up $500, you save up every single dollar of your paycheck. And then you're like, hey, why don't you donate all that money you have? So then you only have $1 left after you have like 10,000 in the bank. You're going to be like, why the fuck would I do that? Why would I give you all of my shit? That's the mindset, is because, then you have to build it all back up. The issue is, like, if you want to take it into what we're doing now with like a stimulus check, is like the fact of like, I get it. It's going to throw you in a giant economic hole farther than we probably are in right now. But at the same time, you're not giving incentive for people to want to work harder when they've already given up on you because you're not helping them out when they need it the most. And that's the
Right.
issue, is you got to look at the long-term goal. The short term is the easiest option would be like, the country's going to go into bankruptcy. But the long-term goal is we slowly build up our walls again. We slowly
Right.
build up our foundation of us as people. Maybe it's a good thing that we got leveled. I think every country has been running a certain way, and that's just been like, well, we're just hoping this shit fucking works. Like, after talking to, like, I had a volcanologist on here, and her job was to study volcanoes to just know when it was going to erupt and be able to warn people if it did happen. You don't realize we're on this giant rock in space. We're just floating through, and we're just happy that we're living today. Like, we don't even realize like a meteor could hit us or something else could do that. It's out of our realm of grasp, because that's a worry that you shouldn't be worrying about, but it's a possible thing. Like, we're all kind of just surviving. And that's the same thing with every single country, every single corporation. The problem is, when you think in that mindset of just surviving, you start getting very, very selfish. And when you get very selfish, you really cut off the community aspect of things. And that's when the world becomes cold.
Well, I think you're right about that a little bit there with the whole survival thing. We do have this once you go into survival mode, you're not in living mode. There's a difference between the two. And survival mode is just your base instincts. And you're right. You become very selfish, very like, it becomes a very one-sided issue. People are not concerned about the community anymore and about the people around them whenever it becomes that survival mode. You're interested in self-preservation.
Can I ask you a
We
quick
don't
question?
have to be. Yeah.
Did you just grab a cigarette?
No, I grabbed my
I'm
my
about to
pen.
say, yeah, I'm about to say, this is like one of those chats where it's like, fuck, and you just need to go outside for a smoke. Like, that's the issue. It's like, why is shit so stressful to talk about real issues? You know what I mean? It's always got to be something where it's like, fuck. Like, I mean, I think that's why a lot of people choose not to talk about it, or a lot of people just choose to keep their head down, and why other people get mad at them for not focusing on those things. I'm like, because the world's so fucking difficult and so hard. And like, I'm a very empathetic person when it comes to a lot of things, much as like you are too. It gets very, very tough when you start opening up your resources and hearing a bunch of different information. Like, I saw recently on Twitter, someone had put up a picture in New Zealand, and it was a bunch of stuff like in their language that I don't really understand. And then there was a bunch of yellow spray paint above the street sign and then below the street sign, and it was some racial slur. And someone said something, I can't believe this was let into New Zealand. How dare you do this? And then it's like this giant calling out thing that got this person like hundreds and hundreds of likes. Everybody was like, wow, like, that's horrible, but I can't believe, but thank God you're pointing all this flaws out. I can't believe the world's like this. And then that person ended up getting exposed, as they did that themselves, and they did it for a post to look good in the eyes of social media. What the fuck happened in the world or happened in life where that is a sign of like, I'm doing the right thing? It's the same issue I have, and I've said it before, with the Salvation Army. I don't like how it's like a whole guilt trip to donate. I think it's like forced empathy. The, there shouldn't be this type of thing where we're so closed off, and it shouldn't take something to guilt you into donating. It shouldn't take something to put you in that position where you feel like, oh God, now I look like a bad person. Everything's always got to be, I would look bad. I would look bad. I mean, I never understood it because growing up, like I remember all the time I would hear like my parents say, you know how that makes us look? You know how that makes us look? Like this whole idea of things. It really kind of sucks because yeah, it might make you look bad, but why are we judging? Why are we so petty where we judge on things like this? Why don't we just see somebody and try and help them in any situation instead of comparing what we have?
Right. I,
I gave you a lot.
I
I'm
don't,
sorry.
no, that's good. Dude, people lack compassion for one another, first of all. All right. Um, I was telling somebody the other day, like they were talking about how somebody was comparing, a friend of mine was talking about how like somebody they knew was comparing their son against somebody else's son and this and that and the other, and the development of these children and how one is, developing at one rate and one is developing at another rate. And basically, the only thing I could have to say to this, the only thing I think I had to say to this lady was, as long as your child learns compassion and thoughtfulness and has the ability to sit down and logically rationalize their behavior and the behavior of other people, your kid's going to be fine. And that's something I think that we all need to do, is we all need to learn how to rationalize. In this world, mate, and I may be getting completely off topic here by saying this or whatnot, but this is just where my thoughts lead me right now at the moment. And that's that people are people, man. Everybody's different. But there's a phenomenon that is occurring, and that is that there's two things that are going on. And I think we talked about this maybe a little bit last time that you and I had a conversation. Two things take place. One is I have the right to offend anybody I want, therefore I will. Number two is I have the right to be offended by anything I want, and therefore I will. And when you have these two mindsets, which seem to be the prevalent mindsets of America today, and not just America, people in the world, like, I'm going to do things that offend you because I can. I'm going to be offensive because I can, and you can't tell me not to. Somebody else is going to say, well, I'm offended by this. Whether it's offensive or not, I can be offended by it, and you can't tell me not to. And if you have these two factions working against each other, there can be no growth. If one faction is constantly working to offend a group of people who feels like they're allowed to be offended by just anything that's said or done, then where, as a society, are we going to grow? Where, people don't see this as an issue. And so I think that, you mentioned like this guy did this horrendous act so that he could draw attention to himself on social media. But was he trying to draw attention to himself, or was he trying to draw attention to something that nobody else was looking at? Now, I don't know what the fact, I don't know what happened here, but I feel like sometimes like I try and do things. I put myself out there for somebody, and maybe they don't see it or they don't recognize it. Or maybe I identify an issue that I think is, a problem, and that people are just kind of like so busy in their normal everyday lives that they're just kind of overlooking. How do I get the attention for that? How do I draw people's eye to like, hey, look at this. This is something that's fucked up. This is something that's wrong. So let's say I act out. You know what I mean? And there's multiple schools of thought and parallax on this too. And so, you got like, I just recently watched the show on Netflix about the Centennial Park bomber. It's called Manhunt: Deadly Games, and it's an interesting little docu-series that the FBI accused this man of bombing the Atlanta uh, Olympic Games back in 94, 96. Um, he was a security guard who found this bomb, and they were trying to say like, um, he had planted the bomb for attention. He had like this hero complex or whatever, and then went and called in the bomb threat, and then went and found the bomb and saved all these people. You know what I mean? And that wound up not being the case. It actually wound up being that somebody else had bombed, the Centennial Park or whatever, and that he just happened to be the security guard on, he was a fat, dumpy kind of like.
That's a movie. I'm
You
pretty
know.
sure it's not a documentary.
No, it's a docu-series. It's based on actual facts, and it's 10 episodes long on Netflix or whatever. So
I'm about
it's
to say
not
there's
really
a
a
movie on the
documentary.
same premise of that too.
Yeah, and it is a movie. Like I said, it's what they call a docu-series. So it's like not really like a documentary. It's like a mini series. It's kind of based on a actual events or whatever. So it's dramatized. Is that how you say it? Um, so they add like their Hollywood drama, and it's all done by actors and shit like that. But it's supposed to be like a true to life sort of story going on here. And so, but I thought that was kind of interesting, And so like, you, there could be two schools of thought on that. You got like one guy who may be doing something to draw attention to himself for the hero complex, or maybe you have the alternative aspect that maybe he's trying to draw attention to the issue, to a social issue. You know what I mean? And maybe whether he went about it the right way or the wrong way.
Well, it's the
Like I
idealism
don't.
of it's the
Well, people.
idealism of morality. If you look at it, you said the perception of thought, for instance. Me looking at that person and seeing a person that's looking for attention by creating a sign that shows racism or shows something that is against another culture just to get views and attention and point out all these flaws. It's like starting a fake fight. It's like the reason why there's a giant thing with cops, for instance, about, yeah, there is an issue in law enforcement when it comes to some people shouldn't be cops, but there's a lot of fucking good ones. There's a lot of amazing things that cops out there do that don't get put on social media because it's not going to get attention. It's this weird like reality television lifestyle people are trying to live in, where they feel like they need the easiest way to get fame is by posting something that's outrageous that's going to get media attention.
But check this out. I was thinking about this exact same thing yesterday, and the only difference between me doing it myself and like a publicist, a PR person. All right. So like if I do it and then I draw attention to what I did, well, now I'm doing it for myself. But if I do it and somebody else draws attention to what I did, now I'm doing it for the community. Right. Now I'm doing it because I want public awareness or whatever. I'm doing it for the issue. And that's bullshit, because it's not always the case. There are people out there who are doing things to get into the public eye, to get attention, and then they have their publicist or their PR team or their whatever and the fuck they are go out and say, hey, everybody, look over here at this guy. And this guy's like, oh, no, I don't want the attention. I don't want the attention. And I guess what got me to think about this, Grand Theft Auto. There was an update recently. It's called the Calle Perico heist or something. And this guy runs this island. He's a drug dealer. He's whatever. He's into all this different stuff. And like, he hires this DJ to give this speech about him. And then he comes up in the middle, kind of at the end of the speech, and is like, no, I said no speeches, blah, blah, blah. Well, what makes a person a great philanthropist? A fucking publicist, a PR team, a group of people who will draw attention to that philanthropist. In order for you to really do something that's really important, you're not supposed to draw attention to yourself, right? You're supposed to do it kind of incognito, maybe behind the scenes. Like if I could go out and help homeless person, I give a homeless person $100, I shouldn't go out bragging about that. Okay. But now at the same time, if I go out and tell my buddy, hey, I'm going to go out and give $100 to these homeless people today, and he's like, well, fuck, I'm going to go out and give $200 in. Well, was it bad that I fucking told him that I was going to give $100? Because now there's $300 out there floating around. So there's a flip side to the coin. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying there? Like, do I draw attention to myself for doing something good? Or do I try and put it out there and say, hey, I'm doing something good. Jump on the bandwagon. Let's do it together.
But that just bolsters the point of why the fuck are we having a system that's confined to a certain template when people can be so it can be so flipped like that. It can be so
Absolutely.
it can be so different. Like what's weird is like if you see how like China goes, for instance, a lot of people like, oh, China's this, China's that, China's trying to take over the world, whatever. But they had a thing a long time ago that they're still doing. It's called a social economic credit system, which is that you can snitch on your neighbor, which we kind of started doing on our own with the whole mask situation and the whole lockdown situation. People are snitching on other people's for family gatherings that are getting together. It's this whole like, what's okay, you're doing it because I see the way you're doing it is you're thinking you're doing the right thing by making sure that it, it doesn't get any worse or it doesn't spread or it doesn't do all this. But at the same time, you're also ruining a whole nother person's experience and a whole nother person's family times to get together if they want to take that risk or not. So
There's a
it's
flip side to every coin, man.
that's why I don't understand why we have such fine laws that are definitive and nobody can ever question those. But then if you don't have laws, then you're running on a system that's going to have a lot of flaws, and then eventually we're in this whole like so it doesn't make any sense. And it's like any action you do, what's to say that could be the possible course or recourse? You're fucked. It's like you're not going to the cashier and you're buying a bottle of water, is $1.25. It's like you go there, it could be $1.25 one day, it could be $4 the next. You're fucked. You don't have the definitive answer.
You don't. And that's the great thing about life, man, is we don't know. And that there are so many. Now, here's the great thing about it, man.
That
Like
sounds
every
fucking
issue,
terrible.
dude, every issue has two sides,
It's like
minimum of two
five.
sides.
It has
Well,
five.
that's what I was just going to say is some issues have 5 or 10 or 20 or 7.9 billion.
I don't want
You know what I mean?
7.9 billion when I'm going to 7-Eleven to
But,
get a fucking taco or
right.
taquito on the roller. I want two options,
Right.
buffalo or ranch.
Right. That's what we want. But not everybody wants that. And there are 7.9 billion people on the planet. And that's why I say for some stories, there's 7.9 billion perspectives to look at it from. You know what I mean? And we have to stop and think about that as a society and as an individual. Whenever we say or do anything, no matter what we say or do, somebody somewhere is going to feel opposite of that. Some people are, some men want to see the world burn. Charles Manson, for example. Let's look at that guy. How the fuck do you explain Charles Manson?
The
To
government
a
drugging
normal,
him.
to an average, but maybe there's definitely some conspiracy
No,
options
I gotta
there.
send you the fucking
But
book where the government came out about it, bro. This book is fascinating. This dude did, what is it, 25 years of research, all for the release of this book where he interviewed and he found out all the real shit that the government did to drug Charles Manson. It's all fucking legit, and it made me question the government so much more.
makes me question. This is what it would make me question not only the government, but as a good person, can somebody make you do something else? Or as a person, as any type of person, can somebody make you? Now,
That depends though,
can
because
you be brainwashed to the point where you don't know who you are inside anymore? Like you don't know right from wrong? I mean, I've never experienced it. So it's like,
yeah, I'll give you a perfect. I'll
I
give
would
you.
like to think,
Well,
I would like to think
I'll
is
give you
if
two
somebody tried to
perfect. Kelly,
brainwash
hold on.
me, I would be able to fight it.
Let me tell you. I'll give you two perfect examples right now. First of all, hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that. How do people get to stop smoking cigarettes? We use it for a good cause, but who's to say someone can't hypnosis you into doing something you don't want to do? Second
But
of
not
all,
everybody is susceptible to hypnosis.
that's true, but also MK Ultra,
Mm-hmm.
ECT, electroconvulsive therapy.
Right.
We haven't found anybody that doesn't work on yet, because you're literally getting tortured into not thinking of that way and training the brain, just like kind of like, you ring a bell over and over and over again, then give someone a snack afterwards, like the scene from The Office where Kip's giving Dwight the candy.
Sure.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing that can happen. The same thing with electroconvulsive therapy. So that creates sleeper agents, people that are doing actions upon for the government's course, but not remembering that they're doing it because they're under a type of like hypnosis type spell. So that leads into a whole nother thing. And that's when shit gets really weird. That's why we're saying there's other different fucking sides of the coin.
Absolutely.
You're not supposed to be able to influence someone else's mind. This is my biggest issue with censorship, is that the reason why it was illegal for multiple corporations or news networks to be able to own something, like you can't own CNN, you can't own Fox, they all can't be owned by the same fucking person, because once you have a monopoly like that, you are literally changing public opinion to whatever you want it to be. You're making
Absolutely.
people agree with you. Here's the issue: when you do that, and it is happening, we don't know what to believe. We don't, Fox News has been called out on so much shit, but you know what they still classify that gets them away or abolished from all things that would consider them, I guess, being able to be sued? They call themselves an entertainment network.
Mm-hmm.
They're not calling themselves news. They're
No.
calling themselves entertainment. But the way that they've somehow slid into the grid is calling themselves news. It's like we all think of them as news, but they're really calling themselves entertainment. And that's how they get away with it. It's like you sign a contract. You got to get a lawyer to look for every fucking loophole through that shit. And that's
So
the world.
it's not just media entertainment, it's edutainment. Whenever I first was asked to guest lecture at the local university here, local community college, for the first time, I was instructed by the person who invited me to do so that approximately every 5 to 10 minutes in my lecture, my educational lecture, I should include some sort of comedic relief. I should be a clown. I should be an entertainer, because I have to keep the kids' attention. I can't go in and speak on a subject that is interesting, that these kids should be like wrapping their mind around. I'm supposed to be there to entertain them.
Because then you'll
What the
get eyes that'll glaze over.
And yeah, well, what the fuck is that about, man? Like, like I walk through the halls of the school and I see video game systems. They're called stress relief stations, stress management stations, or some shit.
What?
Yeah, stress man. And it's like, like whatever happened to like do something physical? Do like what the how are we managing our stress with video games, man? And you see these kids in the hallway, man, like during class time, and they're just playing games, man. And it's like, you're at college, you're at college here, man. You're like a college level education or college education level here. You're at this level, and you're not responsible enough to go to your classes. There was a recent a blurb, like on Google or Yahoo or one of these things, one of these drive-by media sources, where it said something about like the Space Force cadet decided to ditch class and go buy a PS5 system, and then got demoted for it and was all pissed off about it or whatever. I'm glad they demoted him. They should have kicked his fucking ass out. Here's the thing, man. If you're at that level of education, like if you're experiencing that level of work or education, and you're more concerned about a video game. Now, I love video games. I just made a reference to GTA 5 a while ago. There's a time and a place. School is not the time and the place for video games. Work is not the time and place for video games. When you're a fucking member of an elite military force that's supposed to be charged with protecting our airspace, you probably shouldn't be ditching your fucking education training fucking programs to go out and buy a PS motherfucking 5. Please.
So maybe that's the issue on us, because of the fact of how we've chosen that what age is the right age to start teaching these types of things. I feel like maybe, they say 21's for alcohol, they say 18's for smoking cigarettes and stuff, but maybe to teach this valuable information of things of like what's seriously going on in the world, you should be 25. You should be older, and you should have a break from when you realize what the world is really like. Because who are the people that are most compassionate about the world and the system of government that we're in? It's older people, because they've been influenced in it so long. You're talking to kids that are so young that they don't give a shit about it, because of the fact is they haven't experienced a whole lot of it yet. They're still worried about themselves.
That's the problem, is they don't have any experience. Now let's take this exact same thing that you just said to the Middle East. Let's go to Israel. Let's go to, Turkey. Let's go to Iran, where there are 8-year-old boys in the military. You know what I mean? Like, and I've tried to talk to a lot of people about this. You know what I mean? Like, around the world, like we as a westernized culture have been influenced to believe certain things are true. You're not a man until you're 18 or 21 or whatever that age is. But you know what, man? Around the world, in most cultures, by the time you're 13, you're conscripted into the military. If you're a male, if you're a female, in a lot of countries, you're either married, you have a job, or you're working in the world's oldest profession, which is prostitution. And that's a straight up cold hard truth. You can go right across the American Mexico border. You can drive 700 miles from where I'm at right now, and there are 12-year-old prostitutes in Mexico, in Juarez, walking up and down the street, trying to fucking get paid to fuck. Is that right? I don't fucking know. I try not to judge on stuff like that because I have a Western mindset, so I've been influenced to believe that that's a terribly wrong thing. But a lot of people in the world don't see it as that.
Survival.
That's how fucking life. Yeah, you're right. That's it. Survival. That's how life is, man. Because they have to experience shit, man. And here in America, we don't have that experience. Like, sure, there's like human trafficking and there's like, homeless, you hear the stories of the runaway girls who get involved with the prostitution rings and shit like this. And sure, yes, that happens. But it's not a way of life for American children, whereas it is for a way of life for fucking children 400 miles away from us on the other side of a fucking imaginary border. That's a way of life for those kids. When I was 19 years old, I took a missions trip with a church to Juarez, Mexico, down in like one of the worst places I've ever been in my life, man. Like I'd been to Mexico, I'd been to like the drinking parts, you know what I mean? I'd been into Juarez and I'd gone up and down, the strips, and I'd seen, like the place where you get your teeth pulled in the dentist alley or whatever the fuck they call it, and I'd been to like, all the strip clubs and all the touristy places of Juarez, which Juarez is a fucking little, if you've never been there, man, it's a little shit town on the other side of the border there at El Paso. But it's a nice place to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. But then you go into these places and there's like 12 people living in a tar paper shack. And if you don't know what a tar paper shack is, it's like roofing material, like the paper they put under the shingles. And they build their houses out of this, man. And there would be 12 people crammed into one room there. So we were taking like these tennis balls and we were doing things like writing Jesus loves you on them, or,
and pelting their fucking tarp house with it?
Well, no, we'd fucking drive by and throw them out to the kids.
Oh, I thought you were like,
okay.
Knock down the
these
house.
These kids, no. Jesus loves you.
My window, son of a bitch.
But no, we'd go out and try and throw them to the kids and shit, man. Or we'd be handing out like stuffed animals and stuff. The kids were afraid to take the toys from us because the adults would kick the shit out of them and take them and go try and sell them to tourists.
The funny thing is,
tennis ball that says Jesus loves you. You're gonna beat up a 12-year-old kid for it, take it, and go sell it to an American tourist.
Here we go. Here's the other side of the coin of that.
Wow.
A famous comedian, Bert Kreischer, went down to Africa and he was playing with the kids there. They'd never even seen a man with a beard before, so they're like, "Can we play in your beard?" And they would just ruffle their fingers through his beard because they'd never seen it before. Well, he bought them a bunch of soccer balls, and the guy pulls him aside and goes, "Why the fuck would you do that?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You understand all those kids are going to be carrying that soccer ball home and they're going to get killed and mugged for that soccer ball." So that's the other side of the coin, is maybe their parents were pissed off because the fact of they didn't want their kids to get hurt because they have something that someone else has. That's the fucking issue. There's the key line. It's not the situation. It's the idea. It's the template of it, where it's like, if you see somebody that has something better than you, you get pissed off and you get upset. And you see somebody that doesn't have anything. Everything's about a fucking comparison. And it's the worst fucking way to live. And it's so hard because we do it every single day, whether we know it or not. And that's the biggest
America
issue.
is the only country in the world that measures your wealth by your debt. We don't live within our means. I hear people all the time like, I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money for that. Man, I tell you what, man. Watch the struggles of third world countries, man. People who are out every day, like digging nails out of trash heaps so that they can go sell the scrap metal for 13 cents a day so that they can fucking try and find something to eat one meal. Okay. That's a wealthy person in that country. They measure their wealth by what the fuck they have. We measure our wealth by what we can put on a credit card, by the fucking $500,000 home that we're never going to pay off, by these expensive ass car and whatever, like all this shit that we don't need. I see people 5, 6 cars. Man, how many cars do you need to drive? How many cars can you drive? Like, okay, maybe you need one to as a backup in case one of your brand new fucking Bugattis, 1.9 or $7.9 million cars breaks down. Dude, I think it was Cardi B I was watching an interview with recently. She has like 5 Lamborghinis and she doesn't know how to drive. They asked her, why do you need these? And she's like, so I can take pictures with them.
Because I can.
What the literal fuck is that about? I don't know how to drive, but I need 5 Lamborghinis. Cool. She worked for it. She got it, whatever. However the fuck, whether she worked for it or not, she's talented or whatever. Like, I don't even really know who she is. She's some fucking musician, I guess. But great, groovy. We have some things fucking backwards and fucked up in this country, man. Like, we pay our musicians and our entertainers and our athletes all this exuberant amounts of money. And we pay men and women who are out there fighting on the front lines, like our cops, our paramedics, fucking $15 an hour, $17.50 an hour. I know fucking cops in fucking Arizona who are making $16 an hour. The fucking state just raised the minimum wage for servers here to $18 an hour.
Well, they might be providing things like enforcement of law and keeping us safe, but at the same time, when you look at a musician who's bringing in the more ratings, who's bringing in the more sales, they are, so they're going to get paid more.
Right, but who keeps that musician safe?
Exactly. Fact, they don't think like that, though.
You know what I mean? The people out there on the military front lines, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people who are doing so many jobs for so much less. And we're just paying people to be out there to fucking catch a ball. Cool. You're the best person in the world at catching a ball. But that doesn't risk, you're not risking your life. So why are you worth $22 million a year? Because somebody wants to watch you catch a fucking ball on TV. How fucked up are we as a society that we've done that to ourselves? That we've elevated these people to that fucking hero status. Man, somebody who can catch a ball isn't the hero. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. I love all the athletes in the world, man. I got no hate for guys like Shaquille O'Neal who can fucking dribble a ball, bro, or who can't dribble a ball, who fucking are just like 12 feet tall and can block people from dribbling the ball. Whatever the fuck your talent is, cool. You're not worth $22 million a year salaried to fucking catch a ball. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, man. It's not that you're not worth $22 million a year. It's that everybody else in the world is worth that same $22 million a year. Okay.
I think that's the issue, is when you start hearing actors or comedians or people that look up their net worth. When it gets down to their net worth, they start saying Elon Musk is worth 3.5 billion. Why are we classifying people on wealth? It goes back to the joke you had when you were a kid and you found a $1 price sticker and you would put it on yourself and be like, would you buy me? As like a joke. Right. That's the issue, is when you start comparing yourself to wealth. It's the reason why I don't like the whole wealth class thing, is like it debates on how nice you're going to live, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. Shouldn't we all just be given the same slate? And I understand that just it's all like, oh, well, that you have to pull yourself out of that. It makes you work harder. Yeah, but at the same time, it also shows people like you're never going to amount to this. You're never going to amount to that. It's this weird, like it keeps going back to the flip side of the coin of shit. There's all these different outcomes of how someone can take it based on how a person is. And I think it's just wrong to, it'd be so much easier if everybody was like a blob and had like everyone is exactly the same, but it's not like that. We have power of creativity and stuff, but I don't feel like it should be so damn costly to try and do what you want to do things that you feel like you're this is your fit, but it's like that's seen as the bad thing because you're not in a system.
Dude, so I'm in my mid 40s. Okay, my whole life I've worked, dude. I went to work when I was like, started work when my dad left when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, man. Split on my mom, kind of left us in a fuck position. And I went to work, man, and I've worked my whole life, and I developed an amazing work ethic, what I would consider to be one of the best work ethics ever. And people around me who know me, people, who see what I do, people who know me in real life or people who know me on social media or whatever and see like the type of work that I produce and how much work I produce, these people are constantly like, oh man, how do you, like, you were like you're a machine, dude. And you know what it's gotten me? Nowhere in life. I can't afford to do anything ever. Like I see people around me doing shit and I'm like, how the fuck do you afford to do that, man? And it's all on credit. It's all fucking, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm taking my fucking family on a fucking $5,000 fucking trip to Disneyland. Well, how did you save up that $5,000 this year, man? Like, you make the same amount of money as I do, you know, but you got fucking three kids and I only got one. So what am I doing wrong here?
But
And they're
you're
like, oh,
passionate about it, right?
I'm very passionate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
It's a
passionate about my work and whatever. But the thing is, like, it doesn't pay off sometimes. No matter how good my work ethic is, it has never put me in a position to where I don't have to worry about stuff. You know what I mean? I've always just been like the guy who does a good job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, but I've never been rewarded for doing a good job. So,
Well,
which is
I
why, you
can
know, I've,
relate to you on that because like I do the podcast, for instance. I put up
mhm,
episodes every day. Somebody always says something that's like, "Hey, how do you do that? I can't believe it's amazing." All the whatever they want to say. I'm not getting paid for this. I do it because I
right.
enjoy doing it. I think that's the fucking payment. That's the
Hmm.
thing is when you start thinking like, "Oh, well, why can't I get this and why isn't this doing this well?" Once you start doing that, you lose yourself. And I'd be like, it's like watching.
Absolutely.
It's like when you're a kid and you first discover porn, your body's like pixels. A little bit of those fucking pixels of your soul fly off when you're watching Two Girls, One Cup. Like you're not the same fucking kid afterwards. That's what
Right.
happens when you start, turning it into, your passion. You start worrying about the money. You start worrying about how it's not farther than somebody else's. When you bring in those comparisons, it might make you work harder, but it also turns it into more of a game instead of being what you do for enjoyment. And I think that's the biggest issue out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's, you know, I'm not saying, you know, like I'm jealous of people around me who have more than me or whatever. What I'm saying is like most people are, you know what I mean? People see that and they're like, but, and I ask the questions, you know, I see it and I kind of, you know, I get a little jealous sometimes of stuff, you know, but at the same time, like I live within my means. I have everything that I need. I have a warm place to sleep. I have good food. I have people who love me. And, you know, what more do you honestly need? You know, it goes to that whole like, I can't drive and I have 5 Lamborghinis. How much do you fucking need? If you can afford it, great. Give some of it away. What the fuck? You know,
Here-
like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Don't give me your Lamborghini because I don't fucking want it. I say I have what I need. I have what I want. But there are people who do need. You know what I mean? There are people out there who don't have a warm place to sleep. There are people out there who don't have a fucking meal in their stomach today, man. Like this is Christmas Eve, and there are going to be people all around the world who are hungry. Kids in our country who are going hungry. Adults in our fucking country who are going hungry. You know
You
what I
just
mean?
pulled back the magic curtain. You said Christmas Eve. Yeah, we're recording this on Christmas Eve. Doesn't mean it's going to come out on Christmas.
Oh yeah, I realize that, but you know what I
It's
mean. Like you and
Hollywood,
I,
baby.
like
You got to
we
Hollywood it up.
we're living in the moment right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I
and
think it's
so,
crazy because, like, I have a good amount of money saved up in my bank. I could easily buy an old school Pontiac Judge, one of my dream cars, and I could be driving that whenever I want. But then I would probably be broke because of how much it would cost because those cars are
mm,
fucking expensive. But I don't have the need to do it. I don't have the want to do it because I know what is more important in my mind, and that's trying to survive to the next day. That is,
right,
a budgeting mindset, thing from being raised in a house of, poor or poverty or something like that. I still had essentials to, live. But at the same time, we weren't wealthy. We weren't
right,
we were anything below the wealth class. But it's an idea of what do you classify as importance? Chasing down your dream and using your money to pursue that, or just using your money to buy expensive things just so people can look at you and see that you're worth something. I think it's a
mm,
idea to yourself that we're kind of instilled with. I think the issue is when you're a kid, you're told you could be so many different things, president, and when all these things don't work out for you when you get older, you're pissed off and upset about how your
mm,
life has turned out. Maybe instead of putting such high aspirations on your kid, you just say, I want you to be the best person that you can be. And that is just
right.
being kind to others. And I think with that mindset that you teach your kids, that mindset that we teach the youth, instead of wanting to be a number one star or number one person on this thing that they get obsessed with and lose themselves in the making of it, maybe we should just tell them, hey, I just want you to be the best human possible. And that means helping when you know you should be helping.
That's the thing. Why don't we teach our kids a lot of weird shit, man. We let our kids watch violent movies, but we won't let our kids watch movies that have sex in them. Well, how is life created? How is love spread? Is it spread through a gun? Not really. You know, we have a lot of, we put so much emphasis on all these negative things that we'll teach our children, but we won't teach them about love.
Is it easier to love or is it easier to fight?
Oh, it's much easier to fight, I think.
And why do people choose that? Because it is easy.
Well, yeah, it's the easy thing to do. It's easy for me to say, I don't like this key aspect about you, so I'm just going to shut you out instead of looking for the good aspect that you could like about this person, or feeling the compassion or feeling sorrow or feeling, empathy for another person, another human being, another entity, an animal, you know what I mean? Like, we see animal cruelty is prevalent in today's society and industry around the world, you know what I mean? And I'm not like gonna go on this whole like, stop eating beef shit, but
Where's the beef?
but stop abusing the beef that we are eating. You know what I mean? What the fuck gives the person the right to fucking do that?
It's the old saying
Um,
of like, don't put too much on your plate. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach is. Don't use more than you need. There's a way that like people sometimes just want to buy a bunch of stuff. Same thing with the toilet paper incident that happened when this all went down. People bought way more than they need in the fear that they were going to run out instead of leaving some for others that were on the shelf. It's this idea of worrying about yourself before you care about others. I mean, in some aspects, like I said, different side of the coin, it's a good thing. But at the same time, we use way more than we should be using, only on the
mhm,
aspect of we don't want to run out for ourselves. You rather have extra than have too little. That makes sense. But at the same time, you're also cutting off a whole, maybe another person that needs that. Maybe like
right.
some people that are suffering from IBS, for instance, are waiting at Walmart. Like, I need toilet paper. I got to wait in these lines. And people are just buying it up, not giving a shit like they're ever going to use it. I know so
Uh-oh,
many
something
people that
happened there.
have I know so many people that have pantries just filled with toilet paper right now. And I know when this thing was going down,
Mm,
they're not going to get through that in the next year. And people, when this
right.
thing was all going down, were so worried about it. And it was like, damn, our whole mindset switched when the essentials went from trying to get a fucking nice ass new shirt from Ross or Home Goods or whatever the fuck you're buying your shirt from, Marshalls, to I need toilet paper, like, because I have none. That is something that was a leveling point for a lot of people, but no one stuck with it. It was over after 2 fucking weeks.
So, essentials. What the fuck is an essential?
Water,
You know, right.
even though
Water is an essential.
I never fucking drink it.
I used to not either, man. But I've started drinking water lately. And I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't know if me and you talked about this, and it's nobody's fucking business. But I've had digestive issues for fucking the last 10 years, man. Horrible
Welcome to the
digestive issues.
club, son.
But you know what? I started drinking some water recently. Things have gone much better for me in the last 2 or 3 months since I started drinking water than the last 10 years that I combated water.
Well, I'm pushing this soda aside and I'm going to start drinking water now, if that means I can finally, live properly. Um
Dude, I
I
used
think
to
that the
throw up
idea
every
is
single morning.
it's in a bottle. If it was in a can, I would drink it.
I don't know if they make canned water. I bet they do.
They do. It's called Liquid Death, and I'm not trying to give them a shout out, but I watched a comedian, Bert Kreischer, kill 5 of them in a matter of like a minute. He literally just started chugging them open. They're giant, like tall boys, like beer. They look like beer, but it's fucking water in a can. But it's just it's in
Oh,
a can. You drink it easier.
right. Yeah.
It's like when it's in a bottle, you look at it like, oh, it's like showing you how much is in it. I'd rather just not know.
Well, it's an intimidating to look at water and think about how much of it you really should be putting into your body every single day. And I don't drink 64 ounces of water nowhere near, but I'll tell you what, I'll knock down a couple of these 16-ounce bottles a day. And dude, my digestive issues have almost completely gone away. Um, Two things: increasing my water and decreasing my sugar intake. Big time, major. My stomach feels so much better. So
How did we go from that to issues in society?
water. I don't remember how we got on it, but I was thinking to myself, need to go find another bottle of water.
Maybe if people drank more water, they would be less prone to fight because they're already flushed out of their toxins.
Well, maybe so, man. There might be something to that. The water is, our planet is 3/4 water. Our body is 3/4 water. We commune pretty well with our planet. You know what I mean? Like we'll.
Here's a flip side of the coin. Imagine we're in another dimension where we live in the water instead of on the land. So now there's only 25% of the world that we can't explore. There's only 75% that we have.
That would be nice.
Maybe less people would be prone to fight. If we were living underwater, you wouldn't have to wipe your ass with toilet paper. It would just cleanse itself out.
Well, okay. The toilet paper thing. Essentials. That's what it was. That's how we got on it. What are the essentials? Water is an essential.
Deodorant's an essential.
Deodorant is not an essential, and it was
If you're
only
smelling
invented
like
100
shit
years ago.
beside me, I'm going to be pissed.
But that's something we've only recently become privy to. For 250 million years, human beings didn't have perfumes or deodorant.
What about toilet paper? Is that an
we
essential?
didn't have toilet paper. No, it's not.
Yeah, you can shower, but I don't feel like running
Not
up my
just
fucking
shower.
water bill.
Well, not just a shower. You're sitting on a fucking bowl full of water. Flush the damn toilet and fucking splash a little water in your ass. Hello? You know what I mean? You can find a way to get your butthole clean. I promise you. And it doesn't require you hoarding toilet paper.
I referred to Lysol wipes during the pandemic when I ran out of toilet paper. I don't recommend doing that. It fucking hurt.
Chemical burns.
Yeah. And I told my doctor after it happened, he's like, "You didn't, did you?" I was like, "I did." He goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "I had to lie down for a little while."
Yeah, I bet.
But I would rather use an oven mitt before I dip my ass in my toilet.
You flush if you should be cleaning your fucking toilet pretty regularly, first of all. Okay?
You should be cleaning your ears regularly. People don't do that shit.
They don't. They don't wash their hands regularly. That's why we have fucking COVID.
Well, the issue is there's also a science that says that you shouldn't be sticking things in your ears like Q-tips, which I'm pro and I'm against because I do clean my ears because I wear a lot of headphones. So I do have to keep my ears clean. So I'm not looking at what just came out of my ear. But at the same time, when I was a kid, I had a Q-tip go all the way in my ear. So I'm also pro and against Q-tips. So it comes down to this whole issue of like, whatever works for you. Some people have to wear 2 shirts when they go outside because they sweat too much. I don't sweat under my armpits. I sweat in one particular spot, and that is on my nose. And you know what? That gets covered up every single day where I basically breathe it in all the time. And you know what? I don't give a shit because that's for other people, obviously, to wear a mask. But at the same time, to each is their own. Everyone's got something that they do differently than somebody else. Some people wipe back to front. Some people wipe side to side. Me, I like to ball up a thing of toilet paper in my hand and just dab it up there and see what I can catch. But like I said, this is why we shouldn't have one set of ways of how we do things because everyone is uniquely different.
Right. And it's 7.9 billion perspectives. 7.9 billion views to every issue.
7.9 billion. That's what? How am I? I'm only at 600 and like almost 650 something episodes. That means I got a lot more work to do, don't I?
You do. There's a lot of perspectives to fucking.
That's a perspective I have. Is I completely have done myself a disservice, and that is not learning another language to be able to communicate in someone in a different language. There are people I'll never be able to talk to unless I can understand them. And without getting a chip in my head that translates it, it cuts me off from a large portion of the population. So, like I said, that's a different side of the coin. I look at myself in that regard as being selfish, but some people look at it like you can only do as what you can. And it's like the whole world is this giant thing that is basically a fucking coin. So it's like a flat earth. There's one side and there's another side.
Yep. None of us view anything the same way. I mean,
Nope.
look at like, so, all right, I mentioned it, a while ago. It's Christmas Eve. I fucking hate Christmas. Um,
Thank God you didn't
because
say New
it's
Year's Eve.
right.
Everyone hates that day, and it's kind of upsetting to me because that's like my birthday. Fucking.
I heard that. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. Or
I don't
one
mean to
of
keep
the
shouting it
last few
out in
days.
episodes and shit, but Jesus, like I've come across more people saying they hate that day more than any day in the whole entire world, and I'm like, I'm glad to know my birth is just pissing you off every
And
single
I don't know
time.
why you would dislike that day. I mean, I don't know. I have my reasons for disliking Christmas, and it has nothing to do with what most people would think. It's because I've actually studied the roots of Christmas. I know where it comes from, and I
It's
hate
pretty
the fact
bad.
that,
It's
oh,
pretty.
dude, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen or heard of in my life.
That's why you just got to say
And
I'm celebrating Sir Isaac Newton's birthday.
and people have tried it. The church has tried to make it to be Christ's birthday, but if you do your study, then you realize that it's not.
He was born
And
January 6th.
January 6th, is
Yeah.
it? Well, well, that's an interesting. I don't know if I would agree with that. That's an interesting concept, and I was thinking the other day that he may have been born sometime. The Romans added, the Roman Gregorian calendar is what we go by today. And July and August were added to commemorate Julius Augustus Caesar. The whole timeline was changed. December used to mean 10th month, Deca, 10. September is 7, October is 8, November is 9, December is 10. So December used to be the 10th month. So if Christ was born in December, it would have been in the harvest season. And it says, while shepherds were still tending their flocks in the fields, if you believe in what the Christian Bible says, and if you believe that, that Christ's birthday is Christmas, you go in and read that while the shepherds were still tending their flocks in the fields. Well, that's before the harvest moon. That's before Halloween. It's before the end of October.
Well,
So
the
he couldn't
mindset
have been
was that
born
he was
at this
conceived.
time.
Well, the mindset was that he was conceived in March, and they just
Mm.
correlated March. I think it was like around March 20th is when they narrowed it down. And so that means he was born on Christmas, and it sounded better, and it went with a lot of the ways that they kind of have changed the whole pagan idea behind Christmas. And then
Right.
really, they actually found out he was born January 6th.
Interesting.
So actually, he was late, kind of like how I was supposed to be born on Christmas, but then I was born on New Year's Eve. So.
Interesting.
But it sounds better when you do it. That's like the same thing with fucking George Washington's teeth. It's made
Well,
of
this is
slave teeth.
right.
That doesn't
Right.
sound good if you're teaching that to kids.
But that's what you should be teaching them. Is the truth.
It's why we say
Right.
Hollywood, yo.
So,
Hollywood.
Right. Well, it's like I had this conversation the other day that, like, if I have a very mean dog, okay, let's say it's just a horrible, mean, awful, vicious dog, okay, but I love dogs, and it's not the dog's fault that he's like this, and I go in and I feed him every day. I'm feeding my little monster, okay? Now, and I can clearly see that I'm feeding this little monster, and maybe someday he will turn on me and eat me.
Jesus.
That's not important. What's important is
That's pretty
that if
fucking
I close
important.
my eyes and walk into that room and feed that same dog, it doesn't change what I'm feeding. Right? Just because I can't see what I'm feeding doesn't mean that I'm feeding something different. I'm still feeding the same monster. So just because you're blinded to what you're feeding doesn't mean that you're not feeding the monster. So when people celebrate these holidays, for example, they're putting their energy into what this holiday really is. Like, you can call it what you want. I can close my eyes and walk into the room and saying, I'm feeding My Little Pony, and the fucking monster is still eating out of my hand. It doesn't make it a My Little Pony. It's still a motherfucking monster. Just because I want to call it something that it isn't doesn't change what it is. So, like, we say, like, oh, Christmas is this great holiday about, loving children and blah, blah, blah. But when you find out what the real loving of children fucking meant to the fucking Russian Druids who started this fucking holiday, it's not a good thing. You're still feeding the monster. So my family and I have decided that we're not celebrating these holidays anymore like this. And people think that they're missing out. You know, like at first it was like, you know, when we first tried to stop celebrating the Christmas holiday, it was like we're missing out on something because everybody around us is celebrating this thing. But you know what? There's people all over the world who don't fucking celebrate Christmas. The Islamic faith does not celebrate Christmas. Nobody in the Islamic faith celebrates Christmas. Um, it's a westernized, Christianized holiday, but that's not really what it is. It's actually a very pagan and evil holiday that they've put a mask on and called it My Little Pony when you're feeding the monster. You're still putting your energy into that same thing. You're still putting the, you know, so
Stop ruining
I don't feel like
Mariah
I'm
Carey. You're ruining Mariah Carey,
hey,
God.
I try to ruin the Mariah Carey God as much as I can.
No, I love the Mariah Carey. I think there's just some stuff that's so old is that we don't ever want to question it, and that's how the world's kind of going.
We don't. It's tradition. And that's what I'm talking about. We've been this thing has been pushed on us through tradition. Okay, and we have these emotional ties to it, man. We have these like, oh, I remember as a kid, blah 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 blah. But what about the children who were involved in the first Christmas holidays, the first Christmas celebrations? The fuck do you think they had? What kind of fucking emotional ties do you think they had to this holiday? Being the victims of fucking horrendous fucking abuses. Probably not good ones. So we covered it up. We were like, oh, this is a fucking really nasty and horrible holiday. Let's fucking say that it's fucking not this nasty and horrible holiday, and we'll still celebrate it. It doesn't matter how you change it, man. It's still bad. But we're traditionalists, you know what I mean? So it's been pushed on us by tradition. They changed a few things about it here to make it kind of pretty it up and doll it up, and they put some tinsel on it and some lights, and now all of a sudden it's this fucking beautiful thing and world peace and blah blah. Man, why are we? The one thing that really pisses me off the most about Christmas and the people who celebrate Christmas season is that they're like, well, this is a time of year when you should be thinking about the poor and less fortunate. Man, you should be thinking about the poor and less fortunate all throughout the year, 365 days a year. You help people who need it when they need it. You don't just go out on Christmas and throw a few dollars in the fucking Salvation Army coin bucket and say, oh, I did my fucking good deed for the year. And if you think that you can do that and be a better person, well, you know, I don't want to rain on your parade. Good for you. But the simple fact of the matter is that I try to think about the less fortunate every single day. And that doesn't make me better than you. That doesn't make me better than anybody. It makes me doing my job as a human being, as a compassionate and empathic person. It's something we should be doing all the time, not just around the Christmas holiday. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a good thing I don't toss that couple dollars into that salvation thing. I just go, you can put it on my master charge, and tossed out my MasterCard.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's an idea that we have when it comes to the concept of this is how it was and this is how it always should be. And it's easier to make a quick buck rather than doing the proper thing. There's obviously, I love Christmas time only because it's a time when you can get together with family and it seems like everybody's in the spirit to do so. But the issue is you shouldn't just have one day where it feels like it's that time to be able to do so. You should be doing that 24/7.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. You know, like, we don't need a holiday to tell us that it's okay to love our family and our friends and our neighbors and strangers and people we don't know and fucking the homeless. And we don't need a holiday to tell us that, man. That's something we should be doing all the time. That's something we should always be in the mindset for, man. We should always be in the mindset to get together with our brethren and party it down. You know what I mean? Like, we should always, it's for us to fucking isolate it to a single time of the year is sinful. Basically, I mean, it's just outright, like, I don't care what religion you are.
You got to be careful, though, when you say just isolating it down to one day a year, because then you got those people who's like, it's my birthday month, or then they'll be like, it's my birthday year. And I'm like, I will fucking punch you in the throat, sir. I will punch you in the, don't you dare tell me it's your birthday month. Oh my God.
You know, we have to stop and think about each other every day, all day long. Every day is somebody's birthday.
Don't be shellfish.
Exactly.
Get it?
Don't be
Shellfish.
selfish. Yes. Get out of your fucking shell. Love your people around you. Love your brothers, man. Like, encourage one another, man. I cannot preach this enough. We talked about this last time, man. Positivity, man, is what makes the world go round. It's not about trying to fuck each other over. It's not about trying to fucking squeeze the fucking last dollar out of each other. If you really want my last dollar, come and fucking get it, man. Don't deceive me for it. Ask me for it. Don't fucking try and sell me some sham shill product. Don't fucking give me some bullshit service that I don't fucking need. Don't come trying to fucking steal my fucking money. Ask me for it. If you fucking need it that goddamn bad, I don't need it. I got what I need, and I'm provided for. Like, the universe takes care of me, whether it's God, whether it's fucking electricity, whatever you want to call it, man.
I'm
You
starting
give
to
it a
believe.
name.
I'm starting to believe more in that type of thinking because I got a fortune cookie the other day and it said you understand the value of conversation. I was like, that hits me to a fucking T. Like,
Right?
that was fucking like spot on. So, and the winning lottery numbers were 21, 36, 42, 27, and 85.
You should have bet. You
I
should have
know.
gone right
I
then.
should have. I should have. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I should buy up a card for this because watch this be the one day that I actually could win this.
Right? It's funny. I got a fortune cookie one time and it pissed me off, dude. I swear to God, this is the truth. Hand to God, man. I opened the fortune cookie. And I used to love fortune cookies up until this point, man. And I unrolled the thing and it said, "I'm sleeping. Come back later."
That's funny as fuck. Why would you be
Dude,
mad at that?
I wanted my fortune.
That's the thing.
I got ripped off.
Depending on what day you got that, like you're maybe looking for motivation, like you almost jumped off a building and you really are looking for like that motivational thing and you get that, that's terrible. But if you're
Right?
like just fucking eating dinner with like a cousin or something at a Chinese restaurant and you get that, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. I want to put it on Instagram.
It was funny, but it was still kind of like, one of those things like, no, I needed a fortune.
And that's
But
all.
you know what? There's an answer, that makes me think of this little parable. I'm sorry to cut you off there. People that talk about like they need to pray and they're praying for this, they're praying for that, and I'm praying for whatever. And then they get mad because God didn't answer their prayers, but maybe God did answer your prayer. And there's 3 answers to every prayer. Do you know what they are?
Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, no, and wait. So
That's better than the fucking magic 8 ball that always gives me ask again later. I'm like, I'm tired of asking.
Well, that's the wait part. You know what I mean? Boom. Sometimes that's the answer. Wait.
I live in the mindset that I wouldn't wait on anything. Just if you can't do it yourself, then why do it?
Well, there are things that are worth doing that you can't do by yourself.
Yeah, like sex, for instance. But I have a lot of fun doing that myself, too.
Rome, my friend, was not built in a day, and it also was not built by a single individual.
Rome might not be built in a day, but I could jack off in 5 minutes. So it doesn't take long.
You can't repopulate Rome that way either, kid.
I could just Genghis Khan it or whatever it was and just, what is it, like 3/5 of the population is Genghis Khan related?
Yeah, but you can't do that by yourself.
Yeah, but the more kids I have, they'll do it for me.
All right.
That's what you do as an adult. You put the pressure on your kids. So when they grow up, they have to do your bidding.
Jerking off doesn't get you kids.
It depends on where I shoot it. That's what I love doing, is just coming back with something.
Again, however, that takes another person. You can't shoot it onto an inanimate object and develop a kid.
Unless you are able to be both the male and female.
Well, you might be able to use a petri dish too. So, test tube babies, I guess,
Just somebody gather all the socks and collect them.
This is a very strange conversation.
This is how the podcast goes. We go from super serious to dumb right awesome at the end.
Hey, that's the way it should be.
Well, Kelly, you've given me enough of your time today, brother. Is there anything you want to promote? You want to promote the Instagram page, Rusty's Customs?
Rusty's Customs, man. We've been having a Christmas sale all year long. Well,
you didn't celebrate Christmas. You lie.
I don't, but that doesn't mean that I don't exploit it for consumer purposes.
Damn, you're
So
corporate America, bro.
dude, I am the smallest corporation in America. Yeah, man, check it out. Rusty's Customs. We do all kinds of cool like gifts and stuff like that. I do pipes. I do merchandise, little car pipes, keychains,
Pipe bombs?
rusted out cars. No pipe bombs. Yeah, we got to stay off of that government watch list for sure. DM me for your pipe bomb needs. I didn't say that. That was a joke. Please don't DM me for your pipe bomb needs.
You're gonna have people hitting you up like old mobsters. Dude, like we heard you say, send you a DM.
Slide into my DMs. But yeah, you know, if you need night lights or anything like that, pop on by, check it out. And as always, guys, like stop by and check out. I'm gonna do some shameless promotion here, man, at Sauced and Glazed, because he's a partner of mine.
I was just about to say, should we
self promotions for each other?
Should we shout out Mr. Robert Rice, Mr. Captain Price?
Absolutely. Doc's Fusion Fuel, man. Dude, okay, so we were talking about water. Here's the deal, man. Since I started drinking water, I can eat hot sauce again. I haven't been able to do that in years.
I thank that man on so many occasions because he sent me a hat that said Biscuit World, and it's sitting in my studio. And it was like he's like, this doesn't mean anything, but we talked about biscuits one episode, so I have to send you this. I was like, oh, it's just the thought that counts. He better get his card too. If he doesn't get his card, I'm gonna be upset.
I love that guy. He's a great guy. He's funny. He's hilarious. He's a nice all around kind of guy. He makes the best sauce and jerky in the world. So anybody who's listening to this, stop by and check him out. Doc's Fusion Fuel is the name of the product. And I think it's like saucedandglazed.com is his website. So definitely want to give him a shout out, man. Make sure that everybody knows about that because that shit is good, dude. Like,
should we end it on his catchphrase?
Great Scott, that's hot.
No, we're supposed to say it at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Great Scott.
Great Scott. That's hot.
That was fucking horrible. It's okay. Like we say, we're not Hollywood. So
hey, that's okay, man. We don't need to be Hollywood because we got it going on for real here, guy. So I thank you for having me out, man. I thank you for letting me be on the show again, dude. I'd love to talk to you.
Well, I
wish we could do this all the time. Like anytime you need a guest, bro, you just hit me up, dude. I'm fucking here.
We got plenty more days in the next coming year. 2021 is going to be another fun-filled adventures.
Dude, I hope it's less fun-filled and adventurous than 2020 was.
Let's hope it's not worse. That's all I'm praying for.
You know, so they have this saying, man, and they say it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it usually just gets worse before it gets worse.
They also say it comes in threes. I've been hit by like 15s.
Right. Well, if it comes in threes, we got 2020, 2021, and 2022 coming up here. So
let's end on a positive note. Wipe your ass.